Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video. Greetings everybody guys, today we will take a look at the Great British Pound. So market mostly stands quiet yesterday since most investors expect the results of the Fed meeting. So although as you know, the rate increase in December has been priced in mostly, but right now is major intrigue stands around what Fed will say about the overall situation and what hints it will give concerning the further rate increase in the next year. So right now, as you know, probably investors mostly expect 3 more rate increases in the 2018, while just a few weeks ago it was just a 2 rate increasing. So, but still some concern exists because reaction, as you remember, on the non-farm payrolls on Friday was not as strong, although numbers were really not bad, just because of the less than expected inflation, and the wages increasing was a bit smaller than it was expected by the market. That's why many investors talk about that probably could be some surprises from the Fed, particularly due not as strong inflation as it was suggested and it was expected. Personally, guys, I also have some concern about this because if you remember in the weekly research we have talked about dollar index, and in dollar index the picture that we have actually on the 4-hour time frame chart is existing of the large head and shoulders pattern. It's regardless cheaper to sell on slope, keeps well at the bearish scenario. But what will mean the drop here of the United States dollar index? It will mean it's probably some dovish comments from the Fed. Only, at least in the nearest few sessions, we do not have any other important fundamental information, fundamental inputs for the market. And probably only the dovish comments from the Fed could trigger a significant drop here. So I do not see any other signs and any other sources of this possible drop. Of course, this scenario could fail. As we said, if market will break it up and continue move high here, this head and shoulders will fail and further appreciation will happen on dollar index. But still, this situation that we have talked about in our weekly research stands a bit in a contradiction to hawkish expectations of the markets. So as expectation stands mostly hawkish, and probably if they will be dovish, its reaction could be really very strong. So let's see what will happen in the tomorrow session. Right now, let's talk on the Great British Pound. Here, guys, is major concern about what to expect. Whether this will become the real bearish reversal pattern should be ready for starting of the dropping on Great British Pound, or still some upward action is still possible. So initially, if you remember, we have traded this pullback up. It has started pretty nice, so this bullish grabber has been formed, and in general overall action was really fast. But then it has turned to significant collapse, and mostly the grabber has been erased. Not yet, but I think this will happen. Still, I think that there is another chance exists for a possible upward reversal that we should keep an eye on. So I think that the cable is not done yet with the possible upward continuation. And the pattern that we could keep an eye on is regardless triple to buy. So on the 4-hour time frame chart, as market has failed to turn up on the minor retracement and increase the downside leg, I think we should keep an eye on this AB equals CD action, approximately to 132.85 area, where it will be finished. Why I think that it probably will be? Because, guys, CD leg here is fast, it's very fast, and even compared to AB leg. so it's faster. Then I think that market hardly will stop on some deep retracement, but probably it will create the new lows here. That's why I think that appearing of the AB equals CD target pattern more probable than immediate upward reversal here. This of course could happen if some surprise will come from the negotiations on the Brexit or some political news or something of that sort. It really could happen. But by technical picture, that what we'll see, overall situation mostly suggests downside action and reaching of the D point, completion of this pattern. That's what we have. On the hourly chart, this could be done by appearing of the large butterfly pattern. So here the butterfly could be formed. If you will measure the same ABCD pattern, you will see that approximately it has the target at the same point where the butterfly is completing. So you can see it's very close. So that's the pattern that we will be watching for. Also, guys, take a look that we have inner ABCD pattern on the butterfly that also has the same destination point. It's approximately 32.65, somewhere around. Right, 32.65. So that's the pattern that we could keep an eye on. Because actually, guys, here market was able to turn up somewhere on a retracement of this leg, because leg was really fast. As you can see, even on the daily chart, it also was a grabber been formed on the daily, but instead of that, you can see there's a strong collapse. So mostly this rally has been erased. Here, where market could turn up, it has formed instead of that Gartley's triple two sell. So we've got bearish continuation pattern, and market has dropped even more. Taking into consideration all this action, and as I said, the speed of this leg, it seems that some minor leg down should happen before it will be done. So that is the scenario that we should and still could keep an eye on, and I think that cable is not done yet with the possible upward reversal. Besides, this is relatively close to what we think about the euro currency and the dollar index. So if you remember, we have talked mostly on the possible rising of the euro currency and rising of the and dropping of the dollar index. But the Fed really could just turn everything from top to bottom. Just keep looking and watch for clear patterns. So if we will get these patterns completed, well, in this case, it will be relatively safe trying to take the position here, because at least minor bounce probably will happen that led us to move us up to the break-even as a respect of this pattern. So that's what I will be keeping an eye on the Great British Pound in the nearest 2 sessions.